So I just want to take a quick couple of looks at some of the fun cuts that came out yesterday, because Trump had this big, love fest out on the Capitol, out on the steps of the White House. And he had this wonderful thing, I think it was cut number 2, where he thanked the gang.
I want to thank Mitch McConnell. I want to thank, what a job. What a job. And I want to thank Paul. They're going to speak. They're going to say a few words. But Paul, Ryan, and Mitch, it was a little team. We just got together and we would work very hard, didn't we? Huh? It seems like it was a lot of fun. It's always a lot of fun when you win. If you work hard and lose, that's not acceptable.
He likes that winning, our president, and he certainly won a big one this time. He won't be signing this until January, because if he signs it now, then they would have to basically adjust the budget, and the idea of the government living within its means is too horrific for them to contemplate. But here was my other favorite cut, was Trump as he was getting together for a work meeting. He pointed out, which he hadn't done up until that point, that the bill repeals the individual mandate. And this is just a wonderful Trumpian moment.
The individual mandate is being repealed. When the individual mandate is being repealed, that means Obamacare is being repealed, because they get their money from the individual mandate. So the individual mandate is being repealed. So in this bill, not only do we have massive tax cuts and tax reform, we have essentially repealed Obamacare, and we'll come up with something that will be much better, whether it's block grants or whether it's taking what we have and doing something terrific. But Obamacare has been repealed in this bill. We didn't want to bring it up. I told people specifically, be quiet with the fake news media, because I don't want them talking too much about it, because I didn't know how people would. But now that it's approved, I can say the individual mandate on health care, where you had to pay not to have insurance. Okay, think of that one. You pay not to have insurance. The individual mandate has been repealed.
What I love about this is he just right into the face of what he calls the fake news media. He says, we didn't talk about it because we didn't want you to talk about it. And they didn't really. They didn't catch on to this. And now he says that's an effectively a repeal of Obamacare. That's not quite true. There's all kinds of different ways. But it does take away a major crutch and something that was just un-American and unfair, forcing Americans to pay for something that they didn't do, as Trump himself said. So just compare that for a minute. If you just want to, if you want proof, if you want proof that the Democrats and the media are basically the same people, just compare that to for a minute to what you got from Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi. This is cut 6. Chuck. All right, let's hear the real one.
Now, we know they're popping champagne down Pennsylvania Avenue. There are only 2 places where America's popping champagne: the White House and the corporate boardrooms, including Trump Tower. Otherwise, Americans have a lot to regret.
After all the president's promises, after all Republicans brazenly transparent misrepresentations to the American people, the true face of what Republicans stand for has been revealed.
So when people find out that they're getting a tax cut, which they're going to have to find out through their actual paycheck, because they'll never hear it on the news. Listen to this media montage, just to prove that the media and the Democrats are the exact same people. They're all working for the same team. Here is the media montage of reporting from our friends at Newsbusters. They're reporting on this tax bill.
I'm hysterical. I'm having hysterics. I'm hysterical. I can't stop when I get like this. I can't stop. I'm hysterical.
I think I'm having too much fun at this point. I have to go on vacation. Here's the real coverage of the tax passage.
The White House calling it a middle-class miracle. The president there surrounded by Republicans at the White House today. The biggest tax cuts will go to the wealthy, corporate America, and Republicans then argue that that money saved will then be reinvested in jobs and pay raises for the middle class. But will that happen? Not everyone is convinced, but the president is beaming. The Christmas promise he made is coming true.
The president calls the tax plan a middle-class miracle designed to deliver tax cuts for all American families. But corporate America gets a much bigger tax cut.
We are making America great again. You haven't heard that, have you?
And earlier in a cabinet meeting, the president flaunted those tax benefits for big business.
Our plan also lowers the tax on American business from 35% all the way down to 21%. That's probably the biggest factor in this plan.
That cut for corporate America is permanent, but income tax cuts for individuals expire in 8 years.
So let me just go very quickly through why those reports are just slanted and false. First, of course, the idea that there's somehow a giveaway here. Remember, the money that the government takes belongs to the people it is taking it from. Second, that when corporations get a tax cut, that corporations don't pay taxes. You pay their taxes. The corporation writes a check to pay the taxes, but you pay for the product, whatever they're doing, whatever their tax goes up. You think they don't raise their prices? Of course, they raise their prices, and you pay their taxes. So their tax cut not only is going to affect you there in terms of pricing, it's also going to affect you in terms of whether you have a job. Already, AT&T is announcing bonuses for people. They're announcing billions of dollars of new investment in the United States. Lots of corporations were doing that yesterday. It was a cascade effect. It's been amazing. And the idea that that's not going to affect you is crazy. And of course, the other thing, I mean, the three things are: one, it's not a give back because the money belongs to you, not them. That's the first thing. Second, you pay corporate taxes. You pay the taxes that you pay the money that the corporations pay in taxes. And of course, the final thing is the obvious one is when they keep saying, well, rich people get more taxes back. Rich people pay more taxes. The Democrats feel that all the money are belong to them. And the idea is that it's their job to spread it around. And that's not true. The money belongs to the people who made it. They literally created the wealth. It's theirs. And stealing from one person at gunpoint is wrong. Stealing from everybody with the government guns is just as wrong. There's no way that becomes suddenly right. So, look, they could have reported this in an objective way that said it might not work, it might work. They could have done it from both sides, but they just give you the Democrat talking points every step of the way.